Hey, what's up, everybody? Isaac here, Civil Engineering Academy. Excited to be with you on another fun episode. And this one is a good one. We got Brianna Tullis coming. She's a student of ours from the Ultimate Civil FE Review course that my brother and I have created. If you aren't aware of that, go check it out at civilfereviewcourse.com. You can also find it to our main uh, website, civilengineeringacademy.com. But go check it out. But Brianna is a student. I bring her on and we chat about taking the FE exam, the struggles that she had as a repeat taker, taking it multiple times, finally getting over the hump and passing this thing. She found our course and talks about that. And I just thought it would be fun to bring her on and chat. So that is what this is about. I hope you enjoy it. And it's going to be coming up right after this. Thank you so much for doing this, by the way, Brianna. I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah,
I know we're both probably pretty busy. So where are you from?
I'm from LA, went to school at USC, grew up in LA my whole life, and then moved out to Phoenix after I graduated.
And that's where you're at right now,
Yes.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
And what's the temperature like in Phoenix?
Currently not too bad, only like 98.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a delay, but yeah, it'll be 120 here in like a week, so.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Well, oh, thanks for doing this. I'll just ask you a few questions.
For a land development firm and have done that since I graduated about 5 years ago. So, I moved out to Phoenix for a job in 2017, early 2017. Um, Worked crazy, crazy hours, way too crazy, and quit 2 years into that. Worked for another smaller firm for a few months. And then I was in a terrible car accident and was out of work for like 3 months.
Oh man.
And then after that, recovering from that, started at my current job 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, and just love what I do. I work for a tiny firm. There's like five of us, and so we do water, sewer, drainage, plans, reports, design, all that.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, sorry you got an accident. That doesn't sound fun at all. But
No, no, it wasn't.
well, glad are you it sounds like you're doing better, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I don't even think about it most days, which is crazy. It's a very much a miracle that I can be working with
That's
no
great.
mental changes at all. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, tell me a little bit about your FE journey. How did you start that? Where did you start your search? How'd that go?
Yeah, so I should have taken it my senior year, but I had switched majors from being an architecture major earlier in my college career, and so I was cramming in all my engineering classes and just studying nonstop, trying to get out early because USC tuition's not cheap. So,
I know
um,
that.
yeah, so because of that, I didn't have any time to study for or take it my senior year, and I was like, oh, it's fine. I'm gonna, it's, I'll take it down the line. Everybody said it was easy, no problem. And then once I got out of school, I had a job already lined up. They didn't care if I had passed it. And so like I said earlier, I was working like crazy, 70, 80 hour weeks for like almost 2 years straight. And
Whoa.
so I really didn't study for it because I didn't care. I just wanted
You
to
were
go
too
study.
busy.
Yeah, I was way too busy. So I took it, I think I did take it 1 year out of school. That was my first time taking it. And I didn't study like at all because I didn't have time. So I was just like, oh, I'll just take it on a Saturday and see how I do. And it was way harder than everyone had told me. And so then I went back to my crazy hour work for another year and didn't have time to take it again until a year later. And I studied a little bit for that one, failed again. Um, and then my third time was like a year and a half ago. During COVID, I took it and I did a lot better on that one, but still failed. So that one I did pay for a review course. I don't remember what it was called, but it was not super comprehensive. It was like some lecture videos and a few practice tests that I had taken, but I really didn't commit during all of those times to really regular studying and doing a ton of practice problems, which is really the way to pass it. And so
Nice.
then finally found your well, basically I was like, I have to pass it this year. I should have my PE. I'm basically a project manager without a PE and it's not good. So um yeah, so I
Well, and
was
I don't think you're alone in that. I think many people find themselves doing that same thing. So,
well, that's good
um,
to hear. Yeah. So
yeah,
so yeah, so found yours. Um and just was like, all right, I have to do I was hesitant because I'm like, it's so much money to pay for any review course, and your guys' course is very reasonable compared to a lot of them, which is partly why I ended up doing it. But it had good reviews, and so I was like, you know what? If I am gonna actually put in the time to do this, then
let's do it.
it's easier to put in the time when you've invested your money as well. So
That's great. Love hearing that. What? So then you jumped in the course. What's something that you enjoyed about the Ultimate Civil FE Review course? What's something that you liked?
I love that there's the videos for all the practice problems. We didn't have like my previous review course and all my other time studying. I had done some practice problems, but not yeah, not with video reviews. So that was really helpful. The lectures were good. Pretty standard, similar to the other course I had taken, but I think that what really made the difference was having the practice problems with video as well, and just so many of them that you guys really over prepared me, I feel like, in a lot of the topics, which is great.
That's good. The course does come with some practice exams. How did you tackle those? Was there any sort of strategy to taking them, or how did you deal with that?
No, I should have done more. I didn't actually take a full one. I did the problems from one of them, and I really thought I was gonna fail again and was like, "I'm gonna have to go back and do the practice exams," but I didn't really utilize those, unfortunately. I should have, but I just didn't have a chunk of time, like a full Saturday to devote to that, and so I
Right.
did not.
Makes sense. Were there any other barriers that you had when you were checking out courses or checking out ours as to um, pulling the trigger?
No, it's just cost obviously is a big one, but then also trying to find something that is gonna be helpful to keep you on track so that you actually are doing several hours every other day or whatever the schedule is that you want to make, but also being flexible because I knew I wasn't going to be studying the exact same schedule every week. And so it was helpful to have something, yeah, with that flexibility that was also a little bit cheaper, but enough to make me be invested. Yeah.
They'll push you. I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, I'm so happy and excited for you. It's kind of the springboard to the rest of your career and obtaining your PE license. I'm curious, is there anything that you learned about taking the CBT exam that you wish you would have known coming into it? Maybe like beforehand, or did you know it so well
Yeah.
from all your previous stuff?
um I you would think I should have remembered some of what I learned, which I did a bit, but I think the big thing is the time that it takes to find equations and find what you're looking for in the reference handbook. Just
Hmm.
being really familiar with that so that you don't waste a lot of time, because I found that I wasted a lot of time trying to remember what page something was on, and you're doing control F searching it, but it still takes a long time to get back to the right section. And so that is something that I wish I spent more time on, even than it's gonna if you have limited time and you can't do all the practice problems, do spend some time on that, even if it means you don't review something else. And I think uh yeah, time budgeting for the two halves as well, to make sure that you leave more time for the second half of the exam because the problems take longer. That I I wasn't as good at. And so that was my
Mm,
big issue the last two times, I guess, was that I knew the material well enough that yeah, if I had all day and I could have searched through everything and found it, I probably would have passed just fine. But in the time crunch, I didn't think about budgeting that. How many minutes am I taking per question? And flagging everything that was going to take me more than a minute and just coming back to it later because there's free and easier points at the end, like all the ethics questions and the construction questions that I should have been able to get to and I didn't in my the previous two that I did. And so yeah, flag everything that's going to take you a long time, all the hard structural stuff, get to the end quickly and then go back ones that you could have more time because it's the same amount of points for a what do they call the rocks where the roof drain comes out as for a 25 part concrete and rebar problem. So
perfect. Good advice. I think time management's a huge deal on the exam, and a lot of people don't know that until they take one. Which is kind of why I harp on taking
yeah.
practice exams so much. And like put yourself in that situation so you get a feel for it. But good advice. Did you feel like there was a huge amount of alternative item type questions? Did that throw you a curveball, or was everything kind of multiple choice? You felt like you could tackle this. There was no real surprises.
There weren't too many surprises just because I had taken practice exams that were the real one 3 times. But
Gotcha.
I think it, it does throw you for a loop a little bit that they're not all multiple choice. There are a lot of like drag these four options to match up with the four things that they go with on the other side. And so yeah, there's a few different format ones.
Gotcha. Well, that's good to know. Well, is there a main reason why you would recommend our course for someone else starting their FE journey, Brianna?
Just the practice problems are great for the practice exam are also great from what I saw of them. And yeah, it's affordable and really, really good on the practice exams. Yeah, I mean, and the practice problems because you get individual explanations and not just a PDF printout of this is how you solve it.
Perfect. I love it. Well, anything else you'd recommend to anyone preparing for this big exam? Any last second tips?
Um, no, just yeah, take practice tests and budget your time in advance for how what sections you're going to get through every week, or all of a sudden it'll be exam time and you'll be way behind.
Makes sense. I like it. Well, I know, if you kick this exam down the road, it does cost additional money. And if you're buying review courses, tons of them, there's so much material out there. So we're grateful that you found us in this weird part of the internet, and we're excited that you passed. Any big plans to take the PE next?
Yeah, this within the year, I'm still thinking about scheduling it maybe in December, but I that might be a little eager. So maybe in the
Mm,
spring. But yeah, within a year, yeah, definitely at least take it and hopefully pass it. We'll see.
I love it. Okay. Well, thanks, Brianna. Thanks for jumping on. I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts with me, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
See ya. Bye.